I need you. Just, I'm hurt. Why are you doing this to me? Cut it out. Stop feeling bad. Stop feeling so hurt and depressed and unhappy. You don't have another female to run to. You don't have a way to escape with your feelings, and now you have no choice but to cope with your feelings. I'm a strong believer of forgiving, but there's a whole nother story of forgiving, right? When somebody just keeps stepping all over you and you allow them to keep doing it, right? What is up, my BBoss baddies and my badman fellas? It is your girl Bosana, and welcome BBossArmy. So as you guys can tell by the title, today we are going to be talking about how to stop simping. Now, you guys did tell me you want to see purpose videos and a few other things, and I just dropped a purpose video. You guys know I always drop different stuff. I choose to talk about simps this month mostly because it's September. No simp September, you know, but not only just that, simps is just a strong topic, and right now, a lot of people have questions about it, so it only makes sense for me to keep talking about it. And of course, let me know any other types of videos or questions that you may have down below. And of course, make sure you give me a big thumbs up, okay? So you guys know, make sure you check out my Patreon. I have a video dropping on there, so you can only see it if you are pledged on my Patreon. And of course, make sure you check out my second channel. Please support your girl on there, and if you already did, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. You guys know you always keep me going. And of course, if you want to check out my other channels, go ahead. Not other channels, my bad. My other social media, check that out. And you guys know consultations is back. Well, maybe you guys don't know because I haven't been saying it too much, but consultations is back. So if you would like to book one, just go on ahead and email me. Okay, you guys? So let's actually get into this. You know, we start from 5, go down to 1. So that means what? You gotta watch until the end to get the number 1 thing on my list. Okay? So number 5 on my list is have multiple girls. Now, I will forever bring this up. I will never just not say it over and over again, even if I already told you guys, for the simple fact that this is so important. I told you guys from the jump, you have to protect yourself. You have to make sure you put yourself first. You guys are sacrificing for girls, and when you are sacrificing your feelings, right? And so when you decide to take that one woman and make her to be everything, make her to be your all, you know, give everything that you have in you to her, what happens? At the end, you have no one to turn to. You don't have another female to run to. You don't have a way to escape with your feelings, and now you have no choice but to cope with your feelings. And that's what causes a lot of men to go back to the same woman. That's what causes a lot of men to become simps or continue to be a simp. So what you guys need to do is make sure you have options. There's so much woman out here. The same thing for men. You know, a lot of girls that keep messing with bad guys, asshole guys, they know that there's good guys out here. There might not be a lot of them, but there's good guys out here that have the right balance in them to be that type of guy that she needs in her life. Not the typical simp or the typical nice guy. The one that has all the traits that he should be having and is right in the middle. And she still decides to keep dealing with the asshole guy or the asshole guys. That's on her, right? That she decided that for herself. So that's the exact same thing for a man. If you guys are deciding to go to the same woman that keeps hurting you, guess what? Not only do you not have options, but you are setting that up on yourself. So have different options, and not only that, see what's out there. Don't be so stuck on a certain type. And sometimes it's nice to step outside of your comfort zone, especially when it comes to dating, because you will be so stuck on what you are going for all the time, because that is your comfort zone. So, you know, if it's not working where it's at, maybe it's time to try something new, okay? And it means sometimes you might have to try different options and have it all at once to protect your feelings. So let's move on to the next thing on my list. And this is number 4, become more blunt and nonchalant. Now, I also said something about nonchalant in a few of my videos, and bluntness, actually. I said that too. But I decided to bring this back up specifically for simps, because the biggest problem of being a simp is that you are too nice. Too nice to the extreme. You are too vulnerable. You are too all about her. You are too excited to love her too much, you know? That's the problem. It's like you are so in this lovey-dovey world that doesn't exist when it comes to women. You can't be that in love and affectionate with a woman and think that it's gonna get you far. I'm sure there's girls out here, and nobody uses this term, but there's girls out here that are simps too, right? And I'm sure maybe if a simp meets a simp, okay, you'll have one of those interesting, confusing, little weird relationships out there. That's none of my business. That's not for me to talk about. But I'm trying to say is that you want to get out of that attitude that you have. And there's different types of attitude. I know a lot of people always think of just negative and nasty because that's when attitude is mostly used. But attitude comes down to also having positivity. You can have a great attitude towards something. It doesn't always have to be negative. And that's the same thing with you being blunt and literally just being nonchalant. So the difference between the two, blunt is just you saying exactly what's on your mind, and you just, you're positive. For me, it's like when you're blunt, you're honest, and you don't have to be rude. And everybody thinks of being blunt, you can be rude, but you don't have to be rude. When you are a simp, just be honest. And that's the best way to start getting out of that simp characteristic, because if you are stuck in that simp way, you have to get yourself back to yourself, or disconnect from being a simp slowly. So the best way is just to be honest. And when you're being honest, it's just letting it all out in a blunt way, letting it all out. Nothing is sugar coated at all. It's how you feel, and it's what's the truth, okay? And nonchalant, what you need to do is not show your feelings, because that's when you start being vulnerable again. That's when you become back to your simping ways of being so nice and kind and so forgiving. And I'm a strong believer of forgiving, but there's a whole nother story of forgiving, right? When somebody just keeps stepping all over you and you allow them to keep doing it. Have your multiple females, be nonchalant, be blunt when you need to be, and it's just gonna be a game changer. You see the players that keep winning. If you need to be a player, become a player. I'm not suggesting that. I'm not saying do that, but I'm just saying if you can't find the balance, which seems like a lot of guys can't, then what do you have to turn to? Whatever the opposite of what you are is. So you have to become maybe that rude guy. But I tell you guys need to find the balance. When you find that balance, gonna be like saving yourself, okay? Let's move on to the next thing. I really want to say more because I don't feel like I said enough about those last two. I said enough, but I didn't describe it to the point where I wanted to, but it's okay. We'll talk more about it in a different video. Number 3 on my list is look at them all the same. Okay, now when I say look at them all the same, I'm talking about women, of course. When it comes down to simping, all the way back to number 5, you have to treat and look at women the same until they prove and earn the position that they need to. You can't just jump into it and automatically say, I'm going to treat her this good, I'm going to treat her so right, when damn well she's not going to do the exact same for you. So it's already a setup. That's why when you're going into it, you have to look at them and be like, okay, you are in this category of woman. And now for me to find out if you are a good woman, you have to show me that. The same way for a man. I feel like a man should show himself. But the problem is a lot of men are showing and women are doing the same, and nothing is getting reciprocated. And now they are getting hurt and they're getting, in their feelings and all that. And that's because they got to the point where they set themselves up, and some of them not even realizing. So you have to look at all women the same and wait until they earn that position of being a different type of woman. Okay, you guys? So let's move on to the next thing on my list, and this is number 2. Number 2 is never feel sorry. Now this goes right back to being nonchalant, but I had to put number 2 separately because nonchalant is more of just not having emotion. But when I say never feel sorry, I'm talking about feeling that sympathy for somebody. Because what happens with simps is they always feel sympathy. They always feel bad. They always have this emotion. It's not just not showing emotion, like being nonchalant, not being happy, not being this. You're just I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but that's what you are. I'm talking about when you want to be feeling like, crying. So, I love you. I need you. I'm hurt. Why are you doing this to me? Cut it out. Stop feeling bad. Stop feeling so hurt and depressed and unhappy. You want to feel bad for her because she wants to treat you so bad, and then you want to start feeling bad for yourself too. That's what happens. So don't feel bad for her first of all. When she wants to act rude and treat you the way you shouldn't be treated, blunt out, flat out. No, that's not happening. This is not what we're doing. No. And now back to what I was saying. You feeling bad is just you setting yourself up. you're literally setting yourself up, because sometimes the situation is not that bad. Sometimes it's not bad at all. But you always having sympathy is the reason why you're always feeling bad. And you're feeling bad for no absolute reason most of the time. And other times you don't have to show any emotion. And then you can move on to not feeling bad at all. Let's move on to the last thing on my list. And this is stack your bread, get on your purpose. I don't have to say much about that. You guys know I have plenty of purpose videos out here, so make sure you check those out. It'll help you big time. But stack your bread, that means stack your money, get your coins up, make that moolah. So I hope this video helped you guys out, and if it did, make sure you follow me. Oh no, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you follow me on my social media. Make sure you check out my Patreon. Make sure you check out my second YouTube channel. And yes, you guys will see me in my next video. Bye, you guys.